We moved the unconscious Shoma into a cage in the courtyard and made sure it was properly locked. Once that was done, I shoved the key deep inside my pocket. Everyone returned to their rooms without saying another word. I soon found myself completely alone. Looking up at the night sky, I thought about what had happened. Kaku's case had been solved, but that didn't mean it was all over. Someone out there killed Gaku and instructed Shoma to kill Kako. This was likely the same person who had been stealing the hearts from the bodies in the morgue. X, the real mastermind behind the entire string of events. I had to find out who this person was by a hooker or by croc. And I would, no matter what I did. So, either X could still potentially be an outsider to a degree. But we still have the 4 people that were on the roof eliminated automatically. I doubt Ema, like obviously it's not going to be Ema either. I had to find out who this person was by hook or by croc, and I would, no matter what I did. I clenched my fists tightly. Well, let nothing shake me from this firm resolve.
Guys, wake up! Something's happened!
Is Shoma blown up? Upon hearing a loud cry, I dashed out of my room. What happened? What's going on? Woke up early, so I went to check on Shoma, and Shoma, he's dead. What happened to him? Just come with me, quickly. We all knew where we were going. Everybody made a mad dash for the courtyard together. We ran through the second floor hallway and burst into the courtyard, and ran toward the cage without stopping. There we saw...
Shoma!
Kyosuga grabbed the gate and tried to open it.
It is still locked and will not budge. Doesn't Takumi have the key?
Hold on, I'll unlock it now.
I dug a key out of my pocket and slotted it into the keyhole. Once the gate was unlocked, I opened it and went inside. I immediately ran to Shoma and touched his neck, checking for a pulse. At that moment, something felt a little off.
It's wet.
What?
I touched his clothes and they were wet as well.
Well, is he alive or not?
I already checked that. As you can clearly see, he's already...
Maybe we can still revive him if we bring him to the infirmary like last time.
Since I had touched the body, I knew there was... I knew already that too much time had passed, but I decided to go along with it anyway.
Yeah, we should try that.
Cause of death: hemorrhage shock. Estimated time of death: day 51, between 2 and 5 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on the chest and abdomen. Murder weapon is likely a sharp blade about 8 inches long. Too much time had passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body. Impossible to revive. After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the mood in the room became heavier. The heck's going on? How did Giller get to Shoma when the cage was locked? Takumi, did you lock your door last night? Yes, I did. So nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was sleeping. And I know I'm repeating myself, but that key is unique. It cannot be copied. Well, that narrows down the list of possible suspects to just Takumi, right? Do you ever get tired of mindlessly repeating the same thing?
Hey!
Aren't we overlooking the other possibility that he stabbed himself like before? This time in a way that would be impossible for us to revive him? Can't think of any other reason he would wind up dead in a locked cage in the middle of the night.
Well, then who supplied him with the knife? It had to be X, right?
If it was X, then he would have passed him some Gammafiel and a syringe.
Yeah, no wait. Ain't no one strong enough to keep mutilating yourself like that without being drugged to heck. Out of their mind. He could have used one of the bottles that had been stolen previously. Move Shoma's remains to the morgue. There were now 4 bodies lying on the table there. At Ima's request, we made sure Kako and Shoma's bodies were not placed next to each other. Ima walked to Shoma's dead body and stared at it for a long time. Then he said, "You got what you deserved." After that, we investigated the courtyard together. Despite combing over every inch of the area, we found no trace of a knife or syringe. The only thing we found was a balloon. It was lying on the floor near Shoma's cage. Although I couldn't immediately figure out if it was related to the case, I decided to stuff it in my pocket just in case. Soon the last rays of sunlight disappeared into the horizon and the darkness of night took over. It was already way past dinner time. Seeing that none of us had an appetite after all we'd skipped the cafeteria and gathered in a rec room instead.
This makes it 3 people to have lost their lives because of X. We don't know for sure if X had anything to do with Shoma's case yet. Of course they did. We'd all be in serious trouble if it wasn't X. Because that would mean there were 2 killers of X calibers running around free. So who do you think X might be?
Everyone fell silent. This was the question I was dreading the most. And it seemed like the others felt the same. Ever since Shoma shared his side of the story, last night we'd been avoiding that particular issue. It was time to face reality. I steeled myself and turned to Tsubasa. Tsubasa, do you still have the organic life detection device?
Yes.
Oh.
12, the exact same number of people present here. That means
Somebody among us is X.
no, wait.
Girl, how are you going to deny this? Like, come on.
Could have been someone who came in at midnight and left the school before sun came up. Sadly, that's not possible. The device comes with a history log. At 4 a.m. last night, the number changed from 13 to 12 and stayed there. Aha! So Sir Shoma was murdered at 4 a.m. last night. Yeah. Miss Magadori, we are discussing something more important here. The number reduced by 1 when Shoma lost his life. After that, it neither went up nor down. Proving that nobody came into the school or left it, right? Yeah.
So it has to, okay. I think X has to be Takumi. I think Gi is taking over Takumi at certain points again. That's the only thing that really makes sense, because the key was in Takumi's pocket. There's no way X could have gotten in and reached Shoma with an 8-inch blade without the key. So I think X is likely going to be Takumi.
Thing is, we're all screwed if we don't do something. X threatened to kill us all in the message that they're doing just that. The more we pull this off, the more people will be dropping dead one by one.
Well, I agree with the part about doing something at least.
Hey Takumi, you're the leader. Come up with something.
Maybe. How about we make it compulsory to move around in groups of at least 3 during the day?
Didn't someone mention that before? 3 is a risky number.
That was before the other 2 teammates could... That was because your 2 other teammates could be working together. But the situation has changed. According to Shoma, X is just 1 person. That's right. So a group of 3 should be fine.
What about at night?
Feels like that's the main thing. So far, all of them were kicking out at night. then we should...
Done and done. Are we all going to be sleeping here from now on?
How will I end up boring? Get an evacuation center vibes here.
Would you prefer bland and boring or deed and ditch? We've used curtains to divide the area up into rooms, so everybody will have a semblance of privacy. Is this really going to work? What if a killer strikes while we're all sleeping? In fact, that's what why we're avoiding sleeping in one spot until now, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of having a sentry system. 3 people will be on watch at all times. We'll also rotate one person out every hour. If anything happens, just shout. That's reassuring. Now get a good night rest. My skin will thank me.
Looks like we're agreed then.
This arrangement should stop X from causing further harm. We should be safe for a while. Now we just had to continue our investigation and expose X's identity before they tried anything else. There's just one other thing that was bothering me. Shoma was killed today. I saw his body with my own eyes. Which meant... Why did we just skip so many days? I woke up at the sound of the morning announcement. The first thought across my mind is that it was not again, with a sense of resignation. Looking up at the unfamiliar ceiling, took me a few seconds to realize I was in a gym. Stood up from my makeshift bed, pulled open a curtain divider, and stepped outside.
Takumi. He awakens.
I ain't want to submit to small stuff, but you give us a real scare this time.
You were out for 23 whole days.
Is that a new record?
Oh, for the love of murder.
Turned slowly to look at everyone and said, everyone's safe.
Thanks to your last words.
My last words.
For us to move around groups and date, and sleep together at night. Remember, those were your instructions you gave us on day 51? We've been able to survive the whole time because of them. X hasn't had an opportunity to strike yet.
That also means X is still...
Yes, we still don't know where they are. If we did, we would have thrown them in the cage and tossed away the key already.
Now they got a better look at them. I saw signs of fatigue on everyone's faces. X is among us. I'll be killed if I walk around with only one other person. They've all had to spend the last 23 days under the crushing weight of such thoughts. It's no wonder their mental fatigue was starting to show physically.
Alright, there is something we need to know.
What is it?
About 10 days ago, we met with the boy. We met the boy with Undying Flames.
He showed himself?
He said he was feeling very unwell. He said he just had to tell us something.
And what was that?
I recently found out there's something called a distress signal transmitter somewhere in this school. It was put there in the event of all but one member of the Team 1 dying. Only Team 1 though, because the 2 teams joining together had not been anticipated. The people in the satellite did not think Team 2 would ever come here. At any rate, no matter how strong they were, the single fighter wouldn't be able to win this war on their own. Instead, that survivor would be extracted and simply put on standby while the people in charge put together a fresh new team for a new attempt. Once a corrected series of codes had been entered into the transmitter, it would send a distress signal. Once the artificial satellite received it, they would send a rescue craft to the school. The survivor would get on board and be taken back to the satellite. That was supposed to be the sequence of events. Also, the rescue craft does not have capacity restrictions. That means the people from both Team 1 and 2 can board with no issues. The second last academy does not have a transmitter of its own, so bringing the team over here was definitely the right move. Unfortunately, I do not know where that transmitter is located. So it seemed to me that this information could be of some use to you. That is why I came here to tell you about it.
Distress signal transmitter. Never seen or heard of such a thing before. Same here.
After hearing that, we split up into groups and searched for the transmitter, but I still haven't found it.
It does matter. We have to put the transmitter back in the back burner for now. Finding the identity of X will be our top priority. X is most likely the one to kill Shoma. Or they could have ordered someone else to do it like they did for Kako. At any rate, X is absolutely involved in Shoma's murder. As long as we could figure out who killed Shoma, we'd find out who X is. Alright. Clench my fist tightly. Hiroko, Tsubasa, come with me.
Oh.
What? Where?
The courtyard. I'm going to reinvestigate the scene of Shoma's murder.
Very well.
Uh,
I don't mind, but
What's that?
can we have breakfast first? I'm starving. Why did you ask us to come alone?
I can't go against my own last words now, can I?
The part about moving together in groups during the day.
Oh.
But why choose us?
No reason in particular. I just felt like it.
I felt like it. One of us could very well be X.
It'll be a 2-on-1 fight.
What if X tries to destroy evidence during this investigation?
I'm not worried. They would already have done that while I was unconscious if it was that important.
Yes, that is true. Then what are you interested in investigating?
One question before I answer that. Nobody has an alibi for 4 a.m. on day 51, right? When Shoma was killed.
Yes, we were all sleeping in our rooms. Well, Ava was in Ato's room, but you know what I mean.
What about the murder weapon or any other clues?
So far, we haven't found anything.
In that case, the fastest way to identify X is to see who could have possibly killed Shoma under those circumstances. The killer likely used a special method to kill Shoma while he was locked in the cage. If you know what method could break this cage wide open, who could have done that? And thus was the best line of the investigation to pursue.
How exactly are we going to do that? This place is so big that I have no idea where to even start. We need some sort of clue first.
There is a clue. Shoma's body was wet when we first found it, remember? I think finding out why may well be the key to solving the case. I walked over to the courtyard fountain. There was a valve with a handle on the side, probably for adjusting water being spouted. I opened it completely and then a running amount of water gushed out all at once, making the fountain look like an erupting geyser or dam. A giant column of water shot up to the sky and came down like a downpour of rain. I quickly turned the handle to close the valve. Soon the water was considerably and went back into its normal flow. That was close.
What exactly were you trying to do? Glad I was standing over here. I'd be all wet by now if I were any closer.
Next, I checked the central drain. It's more like a tunnel than a drain. The water flowed deep into that tunnel. There was a large handle here as well. I turned the handle and the wall came down from the top of the tunnel, completely sealing up the drain.
Did they flood the room? Did they flood the room?
After checking it, I returned the handle to its original position. They're both like, "What are you doing?" I briefly saw Hiroko and Tsubasa staring at me in confusion as I proceeded to my next destination, the cage where Shoma had been held.
We already checked every last inch of that cage. There are no hidden tunnels underneath the bars. There's no tunnel underneath, and the bars are as strong as can be. No scratches on the lock either, and no traces anything had been tampered with. The hinges of the gate are also untouched.
As I was listening to them, my eyes wandered to the top of the cage. Officially, this cage is an animal pen. I think it was supposed to be modeled after a bird cage or something. You see that ring suspended from the top there?
Yes, what about it?
Didn't answer. Instead lowered my glance to the bottom of the cage, where something caught my eye. Cage isn't secured to the floor. It's just a bottomless cage placed on top of a base. Or did the cage float up because of the water?
But the cage is impossible to move manually. It only weighs a ton.
How do you know that?
There's a blueprint in a courtyard on the room's computer that had some information on it.
I see. So it weighs a ton.
Hey, that reminds me. You know this courtyard was originally created as a biotype for space development research?
A biotype. Biotope.
I'll try to explain to keep the explanation as brief as possible. It's just that before World Death, Earth was full of different kinds of terrain, like arid regions and rainforests. Each of the regions were inhabited by living things unique to that area, including pigs, microorganisms, and vertebrates. For research purposes, this place had originally been created as a perfect replica of the ecosystems those creatures had been living in. That's why there are blasts of hot air to stimulate the desert environment, and also withstand atmospheric pressure many times Earth's range.
But wouldn't that amount of pressure cause the windows to break?
What are you talking about? Those things over there aren't windows. They're display screens, including the ceiling. Look carefully and you'll see the light flickering every once in a while. There's no way the sky could be visible from here. We're inside school after all.
You might be right. Well, what about the X's on both sides connected to the hallways? Atmospheric pressure can escape from those X's when it gets too high, right?
Those places were closed in the beginning, covered in partition walls. Don't you remember?
Oh, right. They opened up after Sire released them.
In other words, as long as the walls and those exits and drains are down, courtyard courtyard is a completely sealed space.
Completely sealed space.
Are you done here? Shall we return to the gym?
Not yet. There's one more thing. This.
A balloon? The one we found during our investigation on day 51?
Why do you think it was found so close to the cage?
I have no idea. I can hardly imagine it being someone's personal belonging. The more likely possibility is that someone made it using the gift-o-matic.
Gift-o-matic? We'll definitely be able to find a clue if we go there.
So in summary, the official name of this is a sturdy rubber balloon. It was made using a very durable material. The description on the box mentions it doesn't break easily.
The balloon has a capacity of 10 liters, so it should be quite big when blown up.
According to the history logs, it's been crafted a total of 100 times. Who needs that many balloons, and for what? Unfortunately, we won't be able to find out who crafted them. That data and the only data has been erased.
After viewing our findings, I put the balloon back into my pocket. Tsubasa, is there a tire pump in the parking lot?
Yeah, an electric air compressor.
Is it portable?
Of course it is. It has a caster and wheels attached to it. Anybody can move it anywhere. Why do you ask?
Bring it to the courtyard.
Hiriko realizes what we're up to.
Sorry, let me gather my thoughts first. Explain all to everyone once I have a clear picture of how the events unfolded.
a clearer picture. When will that happen?
Probably by 7 p.m. tonight. 7 p.m. Gather everyone in the courtyard. Bring that machine too.
What is this important thing we had to come all the way here to discuss?
Well, you see. Turned my gaze upward and slowly lowered my head.
I figured out who killed Shoma.
I have it, Jakumi. You're going too fast. I am not sure.
Is it Ima? Did Ima get revenge? Was it not X? Was it Ima?
Who did it?
First, we must answer the how. How did the killer stab Shoma while he was inside a locked cage? Once we can figure that out, the identity of the killer becomes apparent. Because only that person could have done all that under those circumstances. Just cut to the chase and tell us who the killer is already.
All right. I'll tell you. The person who killed Shoma. It was. The name of that person is...
I don't know.
My best guess is Ima.
Like, my best guess is Ima, but like, what is supposed to be like the thing? Because we got a balloon. That's all we have here. I don't know.
No, it's not gonna be Takumi based on the setup. So I think I understand what Takumi is implying happened. I think I understand the how, but I'm not sure how it points to a who. Because the how is the balloon that Takumi found got filled up with the air compressor. Wait, no. So first step, the killer used the water system in the courtyard to like get like a little space under the cage because the cage is not like fixed to the ground. They slide the balloon under, and then you use the air compressor to air it up, lifting up the cage, and they can get under the cage and into it without having to open up the lock. That, I think, is how they got in. But the problem is I don't understand the who. Part of me really wants to just say Ima, because Ima's the only one that would have a direct reason to kill. But it also feels too easy. I don't know. I legitimately have no clue. So I'm just gonna go with my gut. It's Ima. The real killer is you, Ima Tsukumo.
What are you talking about, Mr. Sumino? How in the world could I have ever done that?
Very well. Allow me to explain. What you did was, no. It's all very simple. You were this guy's stinking to high heavens.
Of course he is. He's X after all. Hey, now that I think about it, nobody got attacked whenever he was unconscious, right? Maybe he's trying to frame someone else to make the rest of us let our guard down. After that, he'll tell us there is no need to travel in groups or sleep together anymore to commit his next crime. So we brought up this matter in a futile attempt to shift suspicion away from him. It does make sense. Yes, it does indeed.
One after another, the others started voicing their agreement, and I found myself unable to offer anything in rebuttal.
You leave us with no choice but to lock you up.
Wait, what? This is a mistake. I was just... In the end, I was detained by the others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that? I couldn't even remember. It was too late for regrets. I had no strength left. Only a little while later, my consciousness fled from me. What day is he gonna wake up this time? I had no idea how long I was unconscious. When I next opened my eyes, I saw the cage had been unlocked. Unsure what it meant, I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside, only to notice that someone was lying in the cage next to mine. I ran over to see who it was.
Ava.
What the heck? What was Ava in the cage for? I didn't even need to check. It was clearly already gone. The cage was unlocked. I went inside and touched her arm. It was deathly cold. She had been dead for at least a few hours.
What's going on here?
Stamped down my disquieted thoughts and quickly started searching for the others. My next destination was the library. As soon as I entered, I saw...
Yoshika!
I checked her body. She wasn't breathing and had no pulse. Judging from how she felt, it seemed like she had died a few hours ago as well. Thinking everyone might be in their rooms, I proceeded to the roof. It was eerily silent all around. There were no signs of life anywhere. Still convinced there had to be somebody around, I opened every door to check. Takamaru's room, Hiruko's room, Darumi's room. Their rooms were completely abandoned. Kurara's room was next. Went inside and my glance fell on her bed. Lying there was...
No! Kurara too!
I checked her body. Like Ava and Kyoshika, she was cold to the touch.
No, wait. Maybe?
Clinging to a ray of hope, I decided to move Kurara's body to the infirmary. But... too much time had passed since death. Impossible to arrive was all the monitor would display. I really had a bad feeling this whole time about this whole thing. Dark despondency pooled congealed at the pit of my stomach. But it was fine. But it's fine. It's going to be fine. That's what I kept telling myself as I continued searching. I checked every room on the second and third floors, and then the other rooms I hadn't checked. I didn't even find anyone. Finally, I reached the first floor. Upon stepping inside a mysterious room with no name, I saw...
Yugamu.
There was no need to even check his body. I could feel an eerie chill crawling underneath my skin and spread to the rest of my body. The last place I visited was a garage. Pushed the door open and cautiously stepped inside. And then... what the heck? What? Finally, when I finally registered the scene before me, I thought I could hear the sound of my heart breaking apart. I felt nothing, not even sadness or despair. Simply turned over the bodies, mechanically and emotionlessly. Takamaru, Ima, Darumi, and Tsubasa's hearts had been removed from their backs. Wait, not Hiruko's? Acting on a hunch, I peered under Hiruko's clothing to check her back as well. There was a large empty cavity there as well, just as I suspected. But I was no longer capable of reasoning through this. My mental faculties had been taken over by a thick, impenetrable fog. Stepping outside, I wandered around aimlessly for a while before coming to a stop in the schoolyard. I stood rooted in a spot in a daze for quite some time. Then a passing, soundless breeze blew past. As I took in a breeze, a slight sense of suspicion flashed through the back of my mind.
Oh.
How many dead bodies have I found? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was put in a prison cell on day 75. How many survivors were there at the time? Including myself, there were 12, which meant that suspicion was quickly dispelled from my mind when the 2 remaining survivors appeared before me.
Fought so hard in a defensive battle. They gave their all. We even beat Vechness. And yet, this was what we woke up to.
Takumi. You killed them all, right?
What?
We're the last 3 still alive. No one else but you could have done it.
Her accusation jolted my mind into action, and I started to defend myself desperately.
No, it wasn't me. I went through the same ordeal too. My cage was unlocked when I woke up and I walked out to almost everybody dead.
You really think we'll believe you after what you've already done?
Who could have opened the cage, girl? Who could have opened it?
Who else could have done this, huh? Tell us!
Moko was right. 3 of us were the only ones still alive. It stood to reason that one of us had to be the killer.
Come on, we're waiting! Who killed everybody if not you?
It was...
It's giving us another chance. Dude, this route's messed up.
But I don't think Nezumi makes no sense to. I think Moko is the correct answer. But this is like ending point to say this. So we're gonna have to go through all of them anyway. So let's see what happens when we say Takumi first. We're just gonna accept the charge. We'll see what happens.
I think I probably just didn't remember it.
Because there's no way either one of you here could have done all that. It means you must be right. It was me. I must have killed everyone somehow without being conscious of it. Slumped my shoulders and hung my head weakly. Immediately after,
Oh.
I knew it. Moko said that as she reached behind her and took out a large butcher knife. Yeah. Oh. So Moko kills us. Next thing I knew, I was staring at my kneeled body, arms drooping lifelessly on both sides. How was I able to see my own body from this angle? Your head got chopped off. That was the last thought that ran through my mind before I blacked out completely. '96 mystery route. Terminated Sumino.
I'm sorry, Nozomi, but you're the only one who could have done this.
Huh? How could you ever say such a thing? It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. No, forget it. I don't care anymore. Everyone died like that. So
She suddenly screamed at the top of her lungs and ran off toward the wall of fire. Is she about to run into the wall of fire? What?
Wait, Nozomi!
I quickly followed her. Before long, we reached a wall of fire. But Nozomi did not slow down. She continued running at full speed right into the wall of fire. This wasn't what I wanted. All because I made that accusation. Because I'm mean to Nozomi. No, wait. It's going to be fine. So maybe we can make it. I'll save Nozomi. I'll drag her out of those flames, and my body is already moving before I can finish the thought. I launched myself into the fiery flames. The very next moment, I was vaporized in an instant. My consciousness ceased just as quickly as my body was reduced to ashes, leaving Moko the only one left alive. What the heck is that ending? A kind heart, well done. Wow. All right, it's got to be Moko, right?
You! Moko Mochiro!
You killed everyone. It had to be you. There's no mistake about it. What? No, no, no. No, 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 no. Moko, you good? Moko charged at me deliriously while brandishing a massive butcher knife. I instinctively grabbed her wrist and snatched the butcher knife away and... slashed her neck. Ooh. I watched in horror as Moko collapsed to the ground. I killed her. I hadn't intended to, but it just happened. My knees were knocking against each other. My strength gave and the butcher's knife fell to the ground. Immediately after...
Moko. Moko. No!
Nozomi, she attacked Takumi. What do you want from him there? Nozomi screamed at the top of her lungs and dashed over. The knife had fallen from my hands and was lying at my feet. She quickly picked it up and swung it wildly. Nozomi, what? Okay, I'm trying to understand Nozomi's angle here. She literally sees Moko swing a knife at Takumi. Takumi takes it and swings back. And then Nozomi picks up a knife and kills Takumi. Like, what?
Nozomi, why?
Nozomi was standing in front of me with an astonished look on her deathly pale face. I stared absently until my consciousness faded into nothingness. Revenge for Moko. Well, we'll see what happens when we do the Takumi route then. But why would Ava kill him? Because like it can't be Takumi, right? That wouldn't make any sense.
I don't have any memories of it, but the killer, it could very well have been me.
Yeah, like I've been saying all this time, right? But how could you not have any memories? It's simple. I just don't remember. Then you cannot be the killer. But I don't believe any of you here could have done something so cruel. Also, I'm the only one who could have gotten inside since the key was with me. There are other reasons too. Doesn't happen when I was unconscious, right? That would make sense if I was the culprit. The cause of my Phaeton disease may have played a part as well. Traces of the treatment found on damaged parts of the brain. Phaeton disease likely developed as an after effect. Those damaged parts have actually yet to heal properly. I could have gotten up subconsciously at night and did all those things without being aware of it, right? That's why I'm saying it was probably me, maybe.
Then you leave us with no choice but to lock you up in your cell. Are you okay with that, Takumi?
No.
Huh? You're still trying to put up a fight even after you've confessed?
I wasn't confessing. I was just saying it as a possibility.
But you were so confident you knew who the killer was.
You were being utterly incoherent. Anyway, hold him down, everyone.
Okay.
Stop. Stop. Stay away from me. I said, stay away. I screamed and started running. Jerk, get back here. I burst out of the room into the hallway and just kept running. Do we have to actually run? Some time passed. I was finally able to throw off all my pursuers after running around the school haphazardly.
I'll be in danger if I stick around here. I should leave the school for a while and get my head together.
I headed to the entrance hall and grabbed a fire extinguisher before sneaking outside. Before long, I arrived at the wall of fire, but somebody had been lying in ambush there. Yugamu.
URX?
No.
But you basically admitted it just now.
I told you, I'm just throwing out possibilities.
Save your excuses. Now I can finally kill you without any regrets.
What?
Have you forgotten that I am an assassin?
Wait, does that mean... Yugamu pulled out a dirk and walked toward me with a smirk on his face.
No! Stop!
Nozomi, what are you doing?
Nozomi! Why?
I saw you, so I ran after you.
Yugamu! How could you do this?
Hey, this wasn't my fault. I was just trying to intimidate you. Killing you had never been my intention at all.
Oh, sure, bro.
Shut up!
I charged at Yugamu with a feral roar. And when we grabbed hold of each other, as we struggled, we lost our balance and our bodies careened into the wall of fire at the same time. Oh, dear me. The very next moment, our bodies vaporized in the blink of an eye. My consciousness ceased just as quickly as my body was reduced to ashes.
What? That's how... What?
97. Dance in the purple flames. So, based on what the passing said, it's Ava. How is it Ava, though? I am very curious to see how the heck it turns on Ava here.
The real killer. You! Ava!
What are you saying, Takumi? I came to the school on day 21. I couldn't have written the first threatening note or killed Gaku. That means I couldn't have been X.
Indeed.
What?
I didn't say you were X. What I said was you're the person who killed Shoma.
I did not. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
So, this is going to end with someone hitting the detonator switch on Ava.
Shut your mouth and just watch. I'll be exposing every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
What makes you think I'm the killer?
Before getting to that part, we'll have to explain how the murder even took place to begin with. Shoma's dead body was found in that cage. He had been stabbed multiple times. That means you had to figure out a way to get inside the cage.
But the door was locked. You were the one with the key, Takumi.
Yes, I did have the key, so you couldn't have used it. You used another way to get inside.
Another way?
The key lies in the design of the cage.
The design? What are you talking?
The bottom part of the cage isn't secured in place.
It's just a heavy iron cage mounted on a base.
I don't understand.
The cage could simply be lifted up.
So you went inside from the bottom.
What nonsense is this, Takumi? How is it possible for anyone to lift such a heavy metal structure?
Very true. Cave weighs about a ton. Not something anyone can move with their bare hands.
Wait, are you contradicting yourself right now?
You claimed I lifted it up, but now you're saying...
Buoyancy.
You used buoyancy.
Buoyancy?
That's right. You made the courtyard a watertight space by closing off the drains. And then you flooded the entire place. There's a fountain there, right? You open its valves to fully release an enormous amount of water through the nozzles. Turning into something like an erupting geyser or open dam. You left the fountain valve wide open for a while to fill the space with water.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your explanation was so outrageous, I couldn't help but be amused. Takumi, do you not know how powerful water pressure can be? Even if we assume the water was released into the environment after covering up any openings, some would still leak out because those walls would be under constant pressure of force from the water.
No, that wouldn't happen. That's how this place was designed. Because the courtyard was originally constructed for a certain special purpose.
Special purpose?
This place was a biotope to be used for space development research.
It was designed to be able to withstand atmospheric pressure, many times Earth's range. That's what Tsubasa said.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why it's impossible for water pressure to cause any leaks. After a while, the place became filled with water. Considering the water flow of that fountain, it probably took about 3 hours for the water to rise to the top of the cage. Shoma was killed at 4 a.m. Counting back to time brings us to 1 a.m., the approximate time the water started accumulating.
Even if you are right, the entire cage is made of iron. It literally weighs a ton. You said so yourself.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being...
By using sturdy rubber balloons.
Rubber balloons?
Ones that can be filled up with air up to the capacity of about 10 liters. You inflated 100 of these balloons and put them onto the cage. To be more precise, you put the deflated balloons into the cage first, inflating them. Archimedes' principle states that upward buoyancy force is equal to the weight of displaced water. 100 balloons holds 10 liters. 100 balloons that hold 10 liters each equals 10,000 kilograms. In other words, the effect is 1 ton of upward force. That cancels out the weight of the cage and reduces it to near zero. You barely needed to use a single finger to lift it then.
Huh?
You were easily able to lift a cage with just the slightest effort.
110-liter rubber balloons? That's just not... It would be impossible for me to inflate so many balloons in such a short time. How could anyone have done that?
More than likely, use a certain tool.
A certain tool. Well,
The bicycle tire pump in the parking lot. It's an electric air compressor.
It's mounted on wheels and can be easily moved there. Even that would make a literal breeze to fill up all those balloons.
I see. The method does make it possible for the cage to be lifted while it was submerged in water. But don't you find it strange? The cage had been underwater for that long. Shoma would have drowned inside. Yet the Revivomatic stated that his cause of death was hemorrhage shock.
doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction...
The cage wasn't completely submerged.
The water had only stopped just below the topmost part of the cage for it to work.
Huh?
Discharging water equal to the volume of the cage itself created the buoyancy force needed. Shoma kept his head above the water's surface and breathed through his mouth. Gasping and gasping for air the whole time. He took this opportunity to lift the cage while underneath and slip inside and stab him multiple times.
What happened to the water in the courtyard after that?
He opened the drainage walls to drain it away.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered Shoma's body.
You used blasts of hot air to dry the place up.
What?
I mentioned it just now. This courtyard was originally created as a biotype for space development research. Because of that, it's perfectly capable of reproducing the desert environment. Which means it had the ability to blast hot wind around the area. After draining the water away, you activated that setting to dry the courtyard. Due to the lack of time, however, the water didn't dry up completely. When we first discovered Shoma's body, it was actually still somewhat damp. It was dry enough, though. Plus, we were all distracted by Shoma's dead body. That's why we failed to notice the remaining wetness in the area. The only thing we did notice was Shoma's body was damp.
Fine, I understand. This is utter foolishness. Let me summarize what you're trying to say. I went underwater, lifted up the cage, and stabbed Shoma multiple times while he was gasping for air at the surface. Then I dove under the water again to turn the valve handle to open the drainage walls. Look, Takumi, I'm neither a diver nor a mermaid.
The mask. Her mask. Her freaking mask.
Even if I was an expert at holding my breath.
A regular person would struggle to do...
No. It's absolutely possible.
You used your mask, Ava. The boss had told me about it. There's a miniature air tank in your mask. It allows you to use it as a sealed gas mask. You can breathe for up to 30 minutes using it like that.
Yeah, I did say that. I never thought it would work underwater, though.
Yes, I remember now. My mask did have a function like that, but someone stole it from me. That person must be the real killer.
We gave it back to you, idiot.
Yes, that has to be it. I know I am right.
You've been cornered and you know it, Ava. Just admit that you're the one behind this. Your mask was unique. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. According to Tsubasa, you're the only one who can wear it. You were right, Ava. This isn't a crime that a regular person could have committed. Only a diver, mermaid, or someone with that particular mask could have done it. Ergo, the person who could wear that particular mask is the culprit. And only one person in this world can put on that mask. That person is standing right in front of me. It's none other than you, Ava! You're the only one who could have killed Shoma!
No! 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 No!
Takumi, you're right. I killed Shoma. The method of and flow of events were as you deduced. I have nothing to add. But have I really done something wrong? I too had been threatened by X. I had no choice. When did you meet X? A short while before 1 a.m. on day 51. Just before the murder, I heard a knock on my door. And you opened it? Yes. Why? I thought that it might have been X outside the door, and did flash through my mind briefly. But I am not part of the SDU, and I wasn't here when you saw the threatening note. I just assumed I could not have been on X's radar. What did X say?
I have the remote detonator that will trigger the bomb inside your body. Here it is, in case you think I'm lying.
See, we shouldn't have given everyone one. Thank you, Tsubasa.
I'm going to give you some instructions now, but you don't have much time. Follow my orders quickly, or else. Should you go against me, or tell the others about my existence, I will detonate the bomb in your body immediately.
Wait, what's going on? How did X get their hands on a detonator?
Huh?
Maybe they stole it from one of us? No, X said they obtained it through the proper channels from Tsubasa herself. No.
See, Tsubasa, why did you create one for everyone? Literally the dumbest thing you could have done.
I duplicated the device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you years later, Takumi. Now we are 100% sure that X is one of us.
No, I think we can remove me from that list. I passed the first detonator to Hiroko and never got it back, and haven't received a duplicate from Tsubasa yet.
That is fair, Sir Takumi. Shall be taken off. That is fair. Sir Takumi shall be taken off the list of suspects.
Everyone else started scrutinizing each other with great suspicion, not daring to even move their bodies, only their eyes.
Ava, just one thing. Yes?
X said it blew you up. You've told the others about him, right?
Yes.
And that's what you're doing right now. You feeling okay?
Why hasn't X blown you up yet, indeed? I believe they could if they wanted to. The device is small enough to fit in the palm of someone's hand. Could even be hidden in a sleeve, on their chest, or around their waist where no one would notice. Be easy to simply press a button at the opportune moment. But X cannot do that for one particular reason. And what's that? Takumi, do you remember what I told you about the bomb mechanism before?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, 25 meter radius on the bomb. They're too close to her. They would die.
25? That makes the blast diameter the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Actually, the length of this entire courtyard. That's why X isn't pressing the button.
But did she tell anybody else that? Was someone listening to that conversation? Somebody had to be listening to that conversation because Takumi was supposed to be the only one in that room hearing her say this. So who else knows?
Because they'd be caught up in the blast as well.
And it's not like they can simply run away.
Taking such action is as good as admitting your ex.
That's why X got their hands tied, eh?
This is a perfect opportunity. For what? For us to get more information about X from Ava. Since they can't blow her up, we can ask her anything we want.
Great idea.
Eva, do you know anything else about X? Their height, body shape? They were dressed in the same outfit as Shoma previously described, and used a voice changer as well. So it's not possible to discern who they were by their looks and voice. But...
Ava looked down a short, hesitant silence later. She spoke up again.
Actually, I figured out who X is.
How did you figure it out?
by their mannerisms. Their mannerisms. You know how some people will subconsciously touch their chin or play with their hair when thinking about something? Those sort of mannerisms. They really tried to hide it, of course, but I still managed to pick up on them. So... Oh, Zax!
All right. I will tell you. X is. The real identity of X is.
Suddenly, a sense of dread washed over me. My mind started working overtime as I went through all the possibilities. Is it going to make Takumi decide? Maybe X would really press the button now? Everyone thinks X won't do it, because that would mean blowing themselves up as well. But if their identity was revealed, it would be the end for them anyway. They might even prefer to die with everyone in the blast over being caught and imprisoned. In that case, why weren't they pressing the button now, before Ava could reveal their identity? Were they banking on the possibility that Ava might say the wrong name? If she did, X would go sit back and watch the show without doing anything. And if she really said X's name, they could always press the button at that time. Surely that was why X was adopting a wait-and-see attitude right now. It might be dangerous for Ava to say the name out loud. Even if she got it right, everyone would die anyway. Still, I might just be overthinking. X could be hesitating simply because they thought they were afraid to die. What do I do? What should I do? There's literally no time to hesitate any longer. My final decision was... I think if we say yes, everyone's going to suspect it's us. And that's going to be the wrong answer. Yes! Stop her!
Ava, stop! Don't say anything.
Huh?
Hey, what are you up to now?
Whatever for have you stopped her?
I explained my reasoning to the others.
I get it. You're afraid to X me try to take us all down with them.
At that, all of a sudden we heard. Ava burst out laughing at everyone's astonishment.
Mind sharing the joke with the rest of the class?
The joke is how you are all being so obtuse.
What?
It's the same.
What is?
Your ultimate destiny.
Wait, are you?
I shouted, but it was already too late. Ava pinched her finger and pulled it out without any hesitation. What? boy. So who is she gonna reveal as X then? I decided to let Ava finish her sentence without interruption. However, she stayed silent after that and refused to say another word.
Ugh.
What is the matter, Lady Ava? X got your tongue? Or do you actually not know who X is? What? Then why did you pretend like you knew?
Ima's question, Eva suddenly. She never knew. She was trying to make sure we wouldn't run. Eva smirked and let out a chuckle, looking as if she was mocking us. When I saw her expression, the truth dawned on me. Of course. You're afraid, right? You're afraid to die. Oh. Even if you were forced to do so by X, you were still the one to kill Shoma. That's an unforgivable act. Then you thought to yourself, I'm going to get thrown into a cage again. This time they're never going to let me out. Why should I stay then? I'll blow myself up and take everyone in SDU with me. But you were afraid to face death. You never had that courage to begin with. So you decided to leave it in the hands of X, right? The act of pressing a button to activate the bomb.
That's why you lied about knowing X's identity.
Wait. That means you're going along with us all this time was just an act.
When you said you hated Vashnes, was that a lie too? Also, you could gain our trust and gather intel while we were hiding in plain sight?
Ava said nothing in response. Her lips didn't move for a second. Something else did. Her hands.
The detonator is on the left-hand pinky. Movement and pictorial motion triggers an explosion.
My body moved before my mind did. I exploded into action and dashed over to Ava's breakneck speed. I grabbed her left wrist and shouted loudly.
Get away, everyone!
At that, everyone made a mad scramble for the exit. Right after that, Ava grabbed my shoulder and forced me to face her. As I did, I saw a raised foot and I found myself being kicked away. I landed near the exit. There were 5 other people. They had just reached the gate and were not yet outside. The other 5 had rushed to the exit on the other side and were about the same distance away as well. Quickly stood up and looked in Ava's direction. She pinched her finger and said,
Is this the courage you said I didn't have?
She pulled on her little finger without a trace of hesitation. It's day 80. I was already so used to waking up and finding out I'd been missing a bunch of days that was more surprised by the fact I was somehow still alive. Come to think about it, I seem to recall someone pulling me back with great force just before the explosion. It could be why I survived. I wonder who saved me. I didn't see who it was, but I remember a lavender fragrance. Was that the Nozomi then? I can think about that later. Is everyone okay? I stood up from the makeshift bed and pulled a curtain divider and stepped outside. And then...
What do you mean Tsubasa and Moko are gone? Exactly what I meant. They're both missing when I woke up. You were the last three on watch last night, right? But halfway through my shift, I felt a pain on my neck, like something had pricked me. Someone must have jabbed me with that stolen anesthetic, because I was blacked out immediately. When you woke up, they were both gone. That's what I've been trying to say.
It was at this point that everybody finally noticed I was awake.
Sir Takumi, I see you have decided to join us in the land of living.
5 days no see?
Oh!
Pretty fast, all things considered.
Ah!
Yeah, hey, shouldn't we be looking for Tsubasa and Moko?
Yes, there are 9 of us here. We'll split up into groups of 3.
After some discussion, we decided on the following groups. Group 1, me, Nozomi, and Darumi. Group 2, Takamaru, Kurara, Kiyoshika. Group 3, Hiroko, Yugamu, Ima. Let's go find them. We're not gonna like what we find, are we? And thus we embarked on a search for Tsubasa and Moko. We visited every place in the school to see if we could find any traces of them. However,
They're nowhere to be found. It's already been an hour since we started looking.
suddenly, we heard a strange voice coming from the schoolyard.
Bad news! Teams Takumi and Takamaru, can you hear me?
If so, come to the parking lot right now. We gave each other a knowing glance and rushed toward the stairwell together. Takamaru's team was already at the parking lot by the time we arrived. There were a few trees near the parking lot. Hiroko and Takamaru's teams were staring agape at something near the top of them. Oh no. Dread started to pool in the pit of my stomach. I slowly turned and cautiously looked in the direction of their stares. What I saw was...
No! How?
It was clear they were both dead. Well, it drained from my face and I felt sick to the bone. Now 5 of my friends are dead, and I didn't know how my heart wasn't breaking. Somehow, I held myself together and said,
Help me lower them to the ground and move them to the infirmary.
Subject Tsubasa Kawana. Cause of death, hemorrhage shock. Estimated time of death, day 80 between 5 and 8 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on the chest and abdomen. The murder weapon was likely a sharp blade about 8 inches long. Too much time has passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body, impossible to revive. Subject Moko Majiro. Cause of death, hemorrhage shock. Estimated time of death, date 80 between 5 and 8 a.m. Lacerated carotid artery. The murder weapon was likely a sharp blade of unknown length. Time of death. Too much time has passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body. Impossible to revive. After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the mood in the room turned utterly gloomy. We silently moved the bodies to the morgue.
Hey, do you mind if I mention something?
Huh?
Go on.
Something I noticed about Tsubasa's back.
She got her heart stolen like the others. Wait, how did you know about the hearts being stolen?
Oh.
I decided it was not something worth hiding and told them about it.
Ah, right.
I don't think the cases are related. Neither of them had their backs cut open. Then what was it you wanted to tell us about Tsubasa's back? I noticed when the hem of her blouse hit while we were moving her body just now.
We walked over to Tsubasa's body and removed the sheet that was covering it. She turned the body and pulled the blouse up. All we could see was a strange thing on her back.
Huh.
2.
Think so. It could be a Z or an N as well. I don't know.
Huh?
The mark is small enough to be completely covered by hand.
Huh.
Not located in the center, but more toward the left side of the spine.
Huh?
This is indeed curious. The purplish color even makes it look like a bruise.
Oh!
What could this number mean?
Nobody had an answer to that. We checked Moko's back as well, but there was no markings at all, let alone one that looked like a number. After that, we turned them both back around and closed our eyes, then put our hands together to pay our respects.
Moko, Moko, Moko.
Izumi clung on to Moko's body and wept bitterly. Her English chokes and sobs reverberated throughout the hushed morgue. Night soon fell, and when bedtime approached, Kurara suddenly brought something up.
I found this in Tsubasa's space. Can you guys take a look at it? The organic life detection device. 9, the same number of people here.
Ain't it about time you just showed your hand, X? You're one of us here, ain't you?
Yeah, Takamura, that's going to work. No criminal in their wrong mind would happily come forward to identify themselves when asked.
How about this, X? Fess up and we promise not to throw your sick little butt into jail. So come on, help us out here.
Are we the only ones talking to X right now?
Say what?
X instructed someone to kill Kako and Shoma. It's the same this time.
Good point. Hey, don't you go putting weird ideas in my head. You're basically saying there's 2 killers among us. I mean, to that degree, it could easily be Kurara. Because Kurara was the one which he claimed to have gotten knocked out by the drug, but that could just be a lie.
Whatever the case, we should probably be sleeping together. I agree. X should still have some of that anesthetic lift. Another option is to increase the number of people on watch, but it's probably safer just to let everyone sleep in their own rooms. What do you think, Takumi?
I folded my arms across my chest and thought long and hard about it before saying. Yeah, going back to sleep in our rooms may be the better option at this point. On the condition that nobody opens their doors until the morning announcement. Are we clear on that? I didn't black out despite having gone through so many stressful events yesterday. I didn't know why. It was like I'd been cured of my fainting disease. During the day, we split up into groups to investigate the deaths of Tsubasa and Moko. We didn't find a single clue. Soon the sun started setting. Darkness took over. It happened right after a bedtime announcement had played. The sound of the doorbell sent a chill down my spine. Was it X? Or were they here to get me? Those thoughts raced through my mind as I gingerly made my way over to the door, and was greeted by a familiar voice on the other side.
I know what you're thinking, Takumi. Maybe Hiroko is X, right? But you would be wrong. I'm not X.
Yeah, you say that, but...
Just listen to me. I need to tell you something. You are likely innocent because you do not have a detonator for Ava's bomb. For that reason, I trust you, and I want you to tell me something I remembered.
What is it?
I'm going to the morgue now. If you trust me, meet me there. I'll be waiting for you.
I heard the sound of her clacking heels getting softer and softer until it went completely silent. What should I do? I don't believe Hiroko is X, but... Dang it. Hid my infuser under my clothes as a precaution and ran directly to the morgue.
I have never met an idiot as stupendously naive as you. Do you even consider what would have happened if I really had been X?
But you said you weren't.
Only a gullible idiot would believe a potential suspect is not a bloodthirsty serial killer simply because they said so.
He's like, you got a point. I gritted my teeth in frustration and said, Anyway, what was the thing you remembered? Hiroko walked over to Tsubasa's body without a word. She stopped in front of the body and removed the sheet. She turned the body over before lifting the blouse up. It's that strange number we saw yesterday. What about it?
This is her liver mortis code.
Liver Mortis code.
It's a unique number that appears on the back of all SDU members when they lose all their cryptoglobin. Only those from Team 1 have this.
Where did you hear about this?
That is a 3-day-long story I can tell you another time. All I can tell you now is it is a very reliable piece of information.
She moved to Shoma's body next, removing the sheet covering him. She flipped his body around so his back was facing up.
The hole is where the number was?
There was a large gaping hole there. Shoma 2.
Yes, I believe X must have done this.
But when? We've been moving in groups since he died.
Well, there was just one sliver of opportunity X could have taken advantage of.
What's that?
When Ava self-destructed. Everyone got caught in a blast and were knocked out. It was the next morning by the time we regained consciousness. S must have woken up sooner than the rest of us, and...
Yuriko showed me Eito and Gaku's back cavities next. Finally, she turned Kako's body over, too. Now we have 4 cases on hand.
Every wound is the same shape. X used the same method to remove their hearts from their bodies.
Sure seems that way.
What do you see when you look at this wound?
Well, the outline is rather clearly defined. They were cut open with a scalpel or something. Oh, I get it now. The exact location it's in the exact same location. That has to be it. Part of their backs where the liver mortis code had been cut out.
Well done.
Is it the same for Moko?
Haven't you been listening? Liver mortis code only shows up on those from Team 1.
So they're trying to figure out what the code is? So whoever X is trying to figure out what the code is to summon the emergency ship or something?
Moko is from Team 2. Naturally, her back is code-free.
After saying that, Hiroko returned the bodies to their original positions. But why would X do such a thing?
I'm guessing it's because they do not want us to learn of their existence. Their bodies were left in the original state. Somebody was bound to notice the code sooner or later.
Oh.
So they cut the part with the code out in order to keep them hidden from us.
Why dig out the hearts too?
Most likely a red herring if you think about it.
Oh.
What would the first thing come to your mind if you saw that multiple bodies had only a certain part of their backs cut away?
I would think they had something to do with the bodies as well.
You see, now you're getting it. What would you think X is targeting? Something invisible on that part of the bodies, right? And what would you do with that information?
What am I supposed to do?
For example, I would cut that part out of my body before X could get their hands on it. Or cover it with something like a tattoo of a soaring dragon.
Oh.
X would likely be highly inconvenienced if we did that. That is why they took their hearts as well. They wanted us to believe the target was not the patch of skin on our backs, but the heart inside our bodies.
That's why X did that.
Though that still leaves us with one question.
What's that?
Oh.
I'll explain later. You see, X's objective has to do with knowledge of liver mortis codes. Our current hypothesis is that X cut out that particular part of the skin. Not because they were avid skin collectors, but simply to stop us from knowing about the existence of the codes. But if that's true, why set up the red herring? Because if X's objective was only to know what the codes were, they could have simply gotten rid of the bodies once they saw it. They could have tossed the bodies into the wall of fire, buried them in the forest, yet X did none of these things. Why?
I'm not sure. Maybe they needed bodies left in a morgue for some reason.
You think so too? Yes, X clearly wanted to leave the bodies in here.
Oh.
But by doing so, it allowed us to find out the existence of the liver mortis code. That's why they went through the trouble of setting up such a complicated red herring, removing the skin and heart of those who already died.
So the question is, why does X want the bodies preserved?
That is what I'm trying to figure out.
So maybe the bodies have to still exist for the code to work. Like, they have to be dead in order for the code to be activated. So it has to be dead. Their body has to be, like, distinct. The body has to be somewhere nearby. Because the body doesn't exist and it doesn't know that they're dead. It could be, oh, they're just outside the wall of fire. Let's put that aside for now and talk about something else. Why does X want to know the liver mortis code?
It has to do with the distress signal transmitter.
The transmitter was the transmitter the boy was in Dying Flames told us about.
I recently found out there's something called a distress signal transmitter somewhere in the school. It was put there in events that all members of Team 1 died. Once the corrected series of codes had been entered into the transmitter, it would, well, transmit a distress signal.
Oh, I know. Correct series of code he mentioned. He must be referring to the liver mortis code.
Yes, there are 10 people on Team 1. Entering 9 of our codes will summon the rescue craft. But knowing the liver mortis code of 9 people indicates that 9 people have entered total death.
Total death.
It means that the complete cessation of life. In this state, a person is impossible to revive.
Okay, how did you come across all this information?
The same way I came across the previous information, by remembering them.
Oh, the 3-day-long story you were talking about.
Yes, I will explain further when the time is more on our side. For now, our priority is to identify X. Do you understand now? Do you understand why I said X's objective is to find out the liver mortis code?
Does that mean X is trying to summon a rescue craft?
It's very likely.
So that they can leave the school.
Quite so.
Which also means X already knows where the distress signal transmitter is located. Because the liver mortis code would be useless otherwise.
That is the logical line of reasoning. Keep going.
If we find a distress signal transmitter ourselves, we can find a clue to X's identity. Yuriko nodded deeply at my words.
That is why I'm going to start looking for the distress signal transmitter now. Care to join me?
But it's almost midnight.
What are you, 5?
All right. I want to go to bed. Yuriko and I ran around the school all night in search of the distress signal transmitter. We found nothing in the end. It's almost 6. We're not in our rooms for the morning announcement. The others may suspect us of being X.
Yes, we should call it a day for now, and...
Just as Hiriko's about to finish her sentence. Kurara? Kurara?
Hide yourself.
What in the world?
You made the rule that we should never go anywhere alone, remember? So why is Kurara wandering around by herself, and...
Now that you mention it. We peered out around the corner of the hallway to see where Kurara was going. She quickly vanished in the direction of the staircase. The sound of footsteps on the floor above us slowly became softer and softer until we heard the roof door closing. Then there was silence.
Kurara went upstairs.
I mean, we're on the ground floor.
But she just came from the staircase. Why would she come down the stairs only to just go up again?
Maybe she didn't come down the stairs.
What are you saying?
We started investigating the area around the staircase. Groping around the wall surface to see if we could find anything. And then... there's a hidden door.
What is this?
A secret door.
Let's see what's inside.
Yes.
Beyond the door was a staircase leading into a pitch darkness.
Kudata didn't come downstairs.
She came up from here.
So, at the end of this staircase,
Yes. There's something to be discovered for sure. Let's go see.
Oh boy. What's down here? This place. I cannot believe we are still discovering new places in the school on day 82.
huh?
It's freezing in here. Your unfunny jokes made the heat in the room shrivel up and die. I don't recall making any jokes. There's a device of some sort in the middle of the room. Should we check it out? Yuruk and I approached the device and stared at the display monitor. Oh, this is it. Is this what I think it is? There was a user manual of sorts in the bottom left of the screen which read, Distress Signal Transmitter. Enter the liver Mortis codes of each SDU member in the blank spaces on the screen. A distress signal is transmitted when 9 correct codes are entered. However, should a single incorrect code be entered, poison gas will release from the tank behind the device. This is a special gas designed to instantly dissolve all types of physical objects. Neither gas mask nor biohazard suit will offer any sort of protection against it. You have been warned.
Oh.
This is it? This is the distress signal transmitter we were looking for. To think it's been here the whole time.
It's a major discovery. In my excitement, I started looking around at the other areas of the room. Next moment, I felt my blood going cold. I saw something I hadn't noticed initially. All my attention had been on the device. An object in the corner of the room. No, that wasn't an object. It wasn't. That was... Oh my. So that wasn't Kurara we just saw, huh? Kurara Osasuke's dead body.
Wait, what? We have to take her to the infirmary.
Don't bother. A dead body doesn't freeze up that badly within an hour or so.
So, she's been dead for a long time?
You have eyes? Can you not see? This is definitely Kurara Osuzuki. I know because I've seen her real face before. The one beneath her usual tomato head mask.
I've seen her face before too.
On that note, do you remember who we just crossed paths with?
Ooh.
Yes. Someone dressed like Kurata.
But the real Kurata is here, which means...
Who the heck was that?
One thing is for sure.
It's not Kurara.
That person is none other than X themselves.
And they have the voice changer so no one knows. Oh. Wait, what? You have derived that Story Lock 3 will not be able to progress without meeting certain conditions. Try exploring other branches. Excuse me, game. Excuse me, what? What condition? Reach Story Lock 2. How dare you, game? How dare you do this to me? You can't do... How? How dare you? Who do we want to accuse? That's for camera. We're gonna say it's Ema. Ema. The real killer is... You, Ima Sakumo.
What are you talking about, Mr. Sumito? That's not funny at all. You're accusing me of killing my own dear sister? I trusted you, Mr. Sumito. I trusted you. I trusted you. What is the basis of this accusation, Takumi?
When Kako's dead body was found, Ima wasn't present, so...
Is that all? You're accusing someone of killing their own flesh and blood based on such a shaky reasoning? The others had their suspicions too, but no one dared to make any accusations because there was simply no proof. And yet here you are pinning the crime on the victim's older brother without producing a single piece of evidence. You've got some nerve. I think Mr. Sumino's the killer. Shielding me from the blast was a ploy to make him look innocent. Yeah, you read my mind. Mine too. I agree. Shut up, Showa.
One after another, the others started voicing their agreement, and I found myself unable to offer any rebuttal.
You leave us with no choice but to lock you up.
Wait, this is a mistake. I was just... Is it gonna fast track to day 100 again? In the end, I was detained by the others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that? I couldn't remember. It was too late for regrets. I had no strength left to even sigh. Only a little while later, my consciousness fled from me. Day 99. I had no idea how long I was unconscious. When I next opened my eyes, I saw the cage had been unlocked. And we're gonna go and find on a dead body spree. Unsure of what that meant, I pushed the door open and nervously stepped outside. It was eerily silent all around. There were no signs of life anywhere. Wondering where everyone had gone, I decided to walk around the campus and search for them. I went to the garage on the ground floor first. I opened the door and stepped inside, where I found...
Darumi.
Oh, joy. I didn't even need to check. She was clearly already gone. I'll close her to touch her arm anyway. It was scaly and dried at the touch. It had been quite a while since she passed. Checked her back, a large gaping hole there. Her heart had been removed through her back.
Why would someone do this?
I put the disturbing thought aside and quickly continued searching for the others. My next destination was the library. As soon as I entered, I saw...
Yoshika!
I checked her body and she wasn't breathing, and had no pulse. Judging from how cold she felt, she had died a while back as well. Flipped her body around gingerly. Her back was still intact. Her heart hadn't been stolen. I decided to search all of the classrooms, though. Thoroughly. Then I checked the first floor, second floor, and third floor. I even checked the roof. There was nobody yet to be found. My last destination was the gym. The moment opened up the door, I could hardly believe my eyes.
What happened here?
Oh, boy. Checked everybody's bodies. They were all cold to the touch, just like Darumi and Koshika.
No, wait. Maybe.
Clinging to a ray of hope, I moved everybody to the infirmary. But... too much time had passed since death. Impossible to revive, was all the monitor would display. I thought I heard the sound of my heart beating when those words flashed across the screen for the 6th time. Felt nothing, not even sadness or despair. Simply turned over their dead bodies, mechanically and emotionlessly. Hiroko, Tsubasa, and Ima's hearts had been dug out of their backs. Kurara, Moko, and Yagamu's backs remained intact. But I was no longer capable of reasoning this, though. My mental faculties had been taken over by a thick, impenetrable fog. I left the building and walked around the back. What greeted me there was a familiar sight.
Shoma.
Sight of the dead body had been divested of his heart. I wondered where my own heart had gone. I could no longer feel it beating, like it had stopped. It felt like time had stopped, like the world had stopped. Everything had stopped. But the time had not stopped. It had proven gradually darkening of my surroundings. I wandered around the academy with no purpose until I finally stumbled on upon a tense dead body. To be more precise. Tense and 11's dead bodies.
Takimaru. Ava.
Checked Takamaru's back, and his heart had been taken, ripped out of his body. Ava's back was untouched. No other part of her body had been cut either. I stood rooted in the spot in a daze for quite some time. Then passing, soundless breeze blew past. Breeze jolted me to my senses, and the gears in my head started turning again. 11. I was put in cage on day 50. How many survivors were there then? Including myself, there were 13. The very next moment, great amount of blood started spitting from around my neck. I understood the first time in that moment that I was still alive. The time I realized I was dead in 2 seconds. But I had no way of telling if that prediction was mine came true or not. But by then my existence had already been erased from the world. "93 Lost in Darkness."